Sup guys, it's anicapped. Make sure to like and subscribe. The story begins in farm with a guy called Logan, who a great life in a farm. After a long day, he heads back home to work on his motorcycle. While he was work, his young son Kyle decides to sneak up on him. But Logan's scare Kyle playfully claims that he has eyes on the back of his head. Logan's wife Sarah didn't like when she sees Logan's face covered in dirt. But Kyle clarifies that his mask resembles the ones worn by the Oni, who are known to be troublemakers. Logan cautions him that the Oni might mistake him for one of them later. That night, Logan and Mary bid Kyle goodnight, and Logan reminds him about his upcoming birthday. With Kyle fast asleep, Logan diligently monitors the security cameras installed around his house, where Sarah expresses her concern about the mysterious death of a man in the news. Logan reassures her that there's nothing to worry about and guarantees that they won't be discovered in their new location. The next day, we see how Logan acts cautious as he meticulously wipes away their fingerprints from a door handle, ensuring their identity remains hidden. This family continues to lead a peaceful and normal life, until one night on Kyle's birthday after having a great day as a family. Later that night, Logan wakes up from bed, but calmly instructs his wife to stay put. Logan quietly makes his way downstairs where everything appears to be fine. Suddenly something appears at the window and Logan is ambushed. The attackers forcefully enter, but he skillfully fights off several of them. His exceptional abilities allow him to seize one of their weapons, and he uses the sword to eliminate multiple opponents. While Logan hears his son cry out, alerting him. Without hesitation, Logan swiftly rushes to him as he reaching for his hand. Another ninja shoots 2 metal needles directly into his neck. Despite the pain, Logan remains determined. As he reaches the 2nd floor, he saw a shocking sight. Several ninjas are defeated. However, his heart sinks when he sees the lifeless bodies of his family Kyle and Sarah on the ground. Overwhelming shock courses through Logan's body, and a sinister figure outside reveals that Logan's wife fought bravely, before igniting a blinding rage within Logan. But before he can react, he is stabbed in the back. The attackers realize that someone must have alerted the authorities as the distant sound of police sirens heard. The leader confirms that Logan is no longer alive, so they depart just before the police show up. Sometime later, the seemingly lifeless Logan regains consciousness. His initial thoughts are of his deceased family, and he vomits due to the overwhelming feeling in his body. The nurse urgently summons a doctor. The doctor explains that he miraculously returned to life after being pronounced dead. Logan couldn't care less and simply wants to know about his wife and son. Unfortunately, they didn't survive. Mike and Emma arrive to visit him. They are from the FBI and seek his assistance in their investigation. They proceed to ask several questions about the possible identity of the attacker. Logan remains silent, but his growing anger is evident to Mike. Sensing that it's not the right time to ask him questions, Mike discreetly hands Logan his card and decides to leave. Emma watches Logan from the rooftop. He is overwhelmed with grief and fury. Logan couldn't bear to approach his deceased loved ones. Now on the rooftop, Logan's rage intensifies, and he reaches for his wrist, revealing a metal needle. Logan stabs himself with it, causing a bizarre transformation. Suddenly, a group of assassins launches an attack on him. Logan, fueled by his anger, unleashes his inner fury and skillfully takes down multiple ninjas, displaying astonishing strength and precision. Logan gains control of the fight. He also performs a unique ninjutsu, transforming his body into black smoke. His powerful move allows him to swiftly eliminate several more assassins. In an instant, Emma gets knocked too. With his rage still burning, Logan, despite being vastly outnumbered, strategically pushes the remaining assassins into the elevator, trapped inside with Logan, not the other way around. As another level, he puts fear in the hearts of any remaining adversaries. Meanwhile, Mike Rowe's concern is Emma fails to answer his call, only to be shocked by the discovery of multiple corpses. As Logan finishes his business nearby, unexpectedly encounters the leader of the assassins. Flood with anger, Logan's launches an attack against the leader. However, this leader proves to be different from the rest, defending himself skillfully, and even trapping Logan with a contraption around his neck. Swiftly freeing himself, Logan taps into his shadow skill, once again delivering a devastating blow. Seizing the opportunity, Logan relentlessly strikes, ultimately bringing the fight to an end. Demanding answers, Logan questions how they found him and his family, and how they recognize his true identity in a mocking tone. The leader remarks that Logan may alter his appearance, but can't hide from them. Afterwards, Logan retrieves a hidden box containing various items, including a mask. As Logan gazes in a photograph memories of his family, he sets home on fire and watches as his once love-filled and peaceful life burns away. Logan woke up from a terrifying dream. In front of him, the assassin leader tied up despite being in bad shape. Logan collapsed due to his injuries. The doctor showed up, surprised to see how is he even alive. The doctor saw that Logan had used the secret art of stark awareness, but he warned Logan never to use it again as it could cost him his life next time. After he catches a glimpse of Logan's back, he advises him to let go of revenge, telling him his body is not capable anymore. After Logan regained enough strength to extract information from his captive, the doctor provides Logan with something to aid in his recovery, causing him great pain and loses consciousness. After he wakes up, he tortures the assassin leader without uttering a word. He starts thrusting a blade into him. Despite being stabbed multiple times, the man defiantly states that ninjas never break. After multiple days continued assault, the assassin finally breaks his silence and questions Logan's motives. He begging for an end to his suffering, but Logan takes it a step further by dipping him in gasoline. Logan calmly proceeds to set the man on fire, watching as the assassin screams in agony. Meanwhile, Mike is removed from the investigation involving Joe Logan. In meantime, Logan recalling the promise he made that he would keep everyone safe. Motorcycle to start his search, only to find that the first place he checks is empty. Logan goes on to travel long distances to check other locations, but all he encounters disappointment. As Logan takes a glance out of cop car, he remembers the business card that Mike had given him. The next day, Logan calls him, but Mike gestures for Emma to trace the call. Mike attempts to uncover Logan's true identity, but Mike selects a nearby restaurant to meet, and the call ended, leaving Emma disappointed for failing to track him. As he heads to the restaurant, the advertisements of Oza are seen everywhere, claiming that their technology safeguards everyone. Logan approaches the restaurant, checking the area while waiting for Mike. Once inside, Mike instructs the owner to step aside, asking him to direct any delivery drivers to the table near the entrance. Finally, Logan shows up, but covering his face. He presents the business card of Mike. Unfortunately, this doesn't satisfy Mike, who insists on seeing Logan's face for confirmation. But then Mike agrees to have a conversation with him. Logan's main objective is to uncover the person responsible for the recent string of serial murders, and in exchange he promises to answer any questions Mike may have relieved by Logan's willingness to cooperate. But Mike suddenly pulls out his gun, indicating that he doesn't negotiate with suspects, and orders Logan to kneel down. Just at that moment, a delivery man enters. Mike becomes perplexed as he realizes that there are no more orders to be picked up, and this new delivery guy launches an attack. Logan swiftly springs into action to defend. But in the process, his face is exposed, leaving Mike curious about his true identity. As Logan finds himself engaged in a fight, it becomes evident that he is not an ordinary delivery guy. Mike attempts to apprehend both of them, but he is forced to open fire when the imposter delivery guy lunges at him. Logan steps in to save Mike from being harmed, and the intensity of the fight escalates as the attacker reveals an additional set of arms. Logan also utilizes his ninjutsu to summon 4 arms and 2 heads. Lohan holds his ground after saving Mike once again. He sways of alcohol and shoots a fireball at his enemies. Seizing the opportunity, he defeats both of them. Finally, Mike is curious about the whereabouts of the man from the hospital. So, Logan decides to use the device to reveal his disguise to his surprise. Ninja, just like the fake delivery guys and the hospital staff, suddenly shoots at them from outside. Logan and Mick are forced to take cover as a group of attackers fires a rocket at them, causing the entire place to explode. After that, Logan disappears, but we see him watching Mike from above. Mike inspects his chest and notices that the ninja's blade effortlessly cut through his body armor without a scratch. Wonders who could have created such a powerful weapon that can even get past bullet armor. Suddenly, an advertisement for Oza technology appears behind them, catching their attention. Meanwhile, a man named Z informs his master that their target is still alive. We see a guy called Reaper who has just defeated a group of ninjas and now faces his former master. The master calls out to Z, criticizing his violent actions. The master readies his sword for the upcoming battle. The master unleashes a devastating gust of wind, seemingly impossible to evade. However, to everyone's surprise, Zyra's unscathed, emerging from the dust. The master was confused how Z managed to dodge the attack. Nevertheless, as he prepares to strike, he notices sword mysteriously now impales to his body, shattering his mask. Also, Reaper must have intentions to confront someone as formidable as Logan. Although this may be true, Yamaji has already issued a strict order forbidding any engagement with Logan. In the meantime, over at the police department, we witness the unfortunate situation involving Mike and the Chinese restaurant owner. Following the chaos that erupted during their meeting, is falsely implicated the owner was doing money laundering scheme. Despite knowing the accusations are baseless, Mike finds himself in a predicament where he must comply. Unfortunately, there seems to be no way out for Mike, and soon his boss confronts him about it. They decide to take a break from the office and head to nearby park. It is there that his boss advises him to steer clear of this matter. However, Mike isn't exactly thrilled about it because he suspects it might be an Oz product. In an attempt to dissuade Mike from meddling where he shouldn't, his boss resorts to and informs him that he doesn't need to come to work anymore, implying that he's too exhausted to make sound judgments. Nevertheless, Mike isn't being fired, he's simply on pay leave until his retirement day. In another location, Logan is seen in an abandoned building blacksmithing and hammering away. While lost in thought, memories of his deceased family flood his mind. He regains his composure and notices someone approaching. A car pulls up and Mike steps out with a box of items. The two enter the building and discuss the unique alloy used in the blades of the attackers from the restaurant. Upon analysis, they realize the alloys is produced by Oza, indicating a connection between the attackers and the ninjas. Mike mentions that he will conduct a bit of investigation to see if there's any information available. But Oza is extremely dangerous, as they seem to have control over the entire FBI. They are now attempting to silence him. Logan informs Mike that they were responsible for the death of his family. So, plan to seek revenge on each and every one of them. There are numerous corrupt individuals at the FBI that need to be dealt with first. Mike proposes that they establish a truce to assist each other. Mike mentions that he has obtained a lead on Oza capturing Logan's interest. He mentions that someone knowledgeable is on their way here. Emma finally arrives, but Logan seems worried. But Mike reassures him that Emma is a trusted friend. She insists they all get into her car because she has something important to show them. Despite the crank space, she reveals why she is so invested in this car. It turns out she has transformed it into server room to access the wealth of information from all around the world. Emma has extensively researched Oza and discovered their involvement in military weapons, telecommunications, entertainment. They seek to have their hands in almost every imaginable technology. However, being a multinational trillion-dollar company, O is not without its dark rumors. Curiously, every individual who has posed a threat to O's reputation, whether a rival company leader or a journalist, has met a mysterious accidents. And in recent news, the leader of a conservative party in his country who vehemently opposed foreign companies doing business died in a car accident. All these convenient deaths are raising suspicions, and Emma is convinced that ninjas are behind it. Mike is concerned about the potential dangers of going up against a giant company and a ninja army. Logan suddenly pushes Mike aside as a sword pierces through the car's roof. Emma starts driving in an attempt to escape their attacker, but he continues to thrust the sword into the roof of the car. Mike attempts to shoot at the attacker, but it doesn't seem to deter him much. Logan stabs the guy, and they believe they are safe until a truck crashes into them, sending them flying. Logan is the first to regain consciousness while the other two remain unconscious. As the attacker stands before them firing, Logan quickly pulls Mike to safety and jumps out of the car to confront the masked attacker. Despite being struck in the back, Logan uses his ninjutsu skills to create extra arms, swiftly impale the assassin's head. He then dragged the lifeless body to the rooftop's edge. Before removing the camera from it, the little men observed the entire sequence of events, while paramedics attended to Mike and Emma. However, just as Logan was about to leave, his throwaway phone rang, and upon hearing the voice on the other end, Logan appeared to recognize it. The voice informs him that he has taken the liberty of encrypting the call, ensuring that there is no need to worry about being traced. Curious, Logan inquires about the identity of the voice, but it seems that getting an answer won't be so simple. The voice then discloses that he's aware of Logan's destination, a city, and warns him about his formidable multi-layered security system. It would be nearly possible for Logan to infiltrate the city alone, and Voice offers his assistance. The Voice proposes sending a location for a future meeting, leaving the decision of trust in Logan's hands. Episode 4. Mike awakens in a hospital room following the car accident. Logan suddenly appeared around the corner. Mike could never get used to how ninjas seem to appear out of nowhere. But he knew Logan had something important to share. They decided to call in Emma, as Logan mentioned a guy who claimed he could offer some help with the Oza mission. Mike wasn't entirely convinced that this guy was another ninja like Logan, but he did possess information that only the ninjas from the old organization knew. It had been a secret. Emma's findings indicate that the man is well informed about Oza's security system, which is extremely robust. It would be nearly impossible to bypass it undetected. So, if it does end up being a trap, he may have no choice but to eliminate all threats. Mike knows that Oza is keeping an eye on him based on his last conversation with his boss. Emma suggests that they should give up, as it might be the safest option. She had previously mentioned that infiltrating Oza's headquarters would be the best way to uncover their secrets, but she never claimed it would be possible. Mike pleads with her to reconsider. Unfortunately, she can't do anything about it. Emma also has discovered a group of dark web users who have been monitoring Oza's activities. According to their findings, Oza is planning to dominate the world by creating weapons of mass destruction. Emma finds the admin of the dark web group, who claims to be one of Oza's former researchers. However, he's quite far away, so it will take some time to reach him. With everyone on board, they decide to stick together. The head of Oza is now determined to take down Logan, recognizing him as a formidable fighter. Oza's director inquires about the plan for Logan's arrival, but he is assured that Oza City is completely impenetrable, so there's no need to worry. However, before continuing, he checks with Big D if he's paying attention to the meeting. Big D is definitely listening, but he has more important matters to attend to, like ensuring his hairstyle stays fresh, and the little guy tries to crack a joke about Big D's large banana. Yami is tired of his nonsense and uses telekinesis to silence him. Yamaji emphasizes that everyone knows how dangerous Logan is at this point. A flashback reveals the night Logan was recognized by the ninja organization, bestowed with his ninja name, symbolizing their exceptional ninja skills and strength. But there was more to come during their ceremony, special techniques that were to remain confidential. Even among themselves, after the ceremony concluded, they all gathered for the evening. Mary appeared genuinely happy to have a name, but Z struggled to adjust to having friends. They have each other and the strong bond they had formed. Some time passed, and they were assigned a mission where they had to infiltrate the house of an important person. After several random security guards had been killed, the man attempted to shoot them, but he was stabbed through the head. As they entered the bedroom at that moment, Mary noticed something in the closet, only to find the man's wife and child hiding there. Mary was faced with hesitation, but the woman took advantage and fired a barrage of bullets at Mary. Despite her injuries, Mary fought back, resorting to stabbing the woman in the neck. Logan arrived to check on her just as additional security guards started firing their direction. Logan threw a smoke grenade and leaped out of the window carrying her. Mary, who had been unconscious for quite some time, Logan immediately performed CPR until she regained consciousness, seeking refuge in a nearby cave. Mary insisted that he'd leave her behind for the sake of the mission. However, Logan adamantly refused, unwilling to abandon her. Overwhelmed by the shame of failing her mission, Mary contemplated ending her own life. Thankfully, Logan noted just in time and managed to intercept the blade mere inches away. Despite the ninja code warning against emotional attachments, Mary reminded him of their duty. Nevertheless, Logan had already made up his mind to break that code from the very day they met. After sharing a kiss, Z discovers them cuddled up in a corner of the cave. This marked the beginning of their troubles with the organization. Fast forward to the present, Mike is attempting to reach Logan as he heads to meet the source they discover on the dark web. Simultaneously, his boss calls, expressing dissatisfaction with Mike's recent activities. Despite this, Mike is given the freedom to pursue his own interests. Meanwhile, Logan receives a message from the mysterious exiled ninja, who expresses his satisfaction with Logan's decision to accept his help initially. He wants Logan to fully comprehend how the Oza security system operates. It relies solely on their internally developed technology and proactively checks if approaching vehicles have the necessary permission to enter. If any unauthorized guests are detected for the sound, the drones will swiftly engage in defensive action. Furthermore, there is an electromagnetic barrier covering the airspace. This means Logan will need to enter through the underground facility. The voice will then work his magic and deactivate it for 5 seconds, allowing him to enter. Logan starts moving through the underground facility, following instructions, skillfully performs precise gymnastics to avoid setting off any alarms. However, a droplet of sweat escapes from his forehead, accidentally activating the laser and completely sabotaging the entire plan. Now they are fully aware of his presence and swiftly dispatch soldiers to apprehend him. Logan efficiently handles the soldiers and keeps running until he reaches the barrier. Just as the barrier is about to be dismantled, Zai unexpectedly appears before him and the two lock eyes in a tense standoff. Logan claims that Mary is dead and wonders if Yamagi ordered her killing so he can seek revenge, but Z warns Logan that he cannot hide for forever. In the meantime, Mike arrives at the address of the former Oza researcher Emma told him to find. Mike steps into the deserted arcade and discovers a drunk man. He has a seat beside him. Mike waits until the man finally notices his presence. Meanwhile, Logan is in hiding in a tunnel when he receives a message from his contact informing him that the executives have agreed to let him enter the city peacefully. However, they plan to ambush him. Moving on to Mike and Jason, Mike clarifies that he only needs help with an investigation, and if Jason cooperates, he will not bother him again. In Oza City, the festival has just commenced and Logan is making his move to enter the city. All eyes are on him. As the organization leaders anticipate his arrival as he ventures into the Seward, he finds himself confronted by an army of ninjas. On the other hand, Mike successfully makes his way into Jason's secret room, where he has meticulously set up an entire servo room to cater to his hacking needs. Meanwhile, in Logan's thrilling escapade, he fearlessly battles his way through an army of ninjas, skillfully using explosives for cover and effortlessly slicing through more enemies. Jason is using his computer skills to try and access their servers, but unfortunately he can't take down all their servers. The alarms start blaring as Oza has detected their hacking attempt and blocked Jason's access. Jason's security system also alerts him to the presence of armed soldiers who are pursuing them as they enter the server room. Guns at the ready, Mike and Jason take cover behind a counter. In a clever move, Mike switches on the game machines, diverting the mercenaries' attention towards them. Seizing the opportunity, Mike and Jason make a quick escape to Mike's car and speed away. Meanwhile, Logan finds himself facing Oza. Mike and Jason are desperately fleeing from the pursuing mercenaries. Mike attempts to make a call. Unfortunately, Emma is not answering. The mercenaries start shooting at their car. Mike decides to hang out of the window and provide cover. However, their car loses control and crash. Heads back to Logan, walking up to the two security guards who had just witnessed him take down an entire army, realizing they are not paid enough to handle the situation. Upon arriving in a large room, he finds himself surrounded by the little head and tech suit, which clearly isn't compensating for anything. The others are impressed by his progress. When Logan spots Yamagi, he charges towards him only to be body-checked by a ninja. Despite he ends up being thrown into the air and hammered by Big D. Logan relies on his secret art to hide his presence. They expected him to attack, but instead he throws some bombs at the window and uses a grappling hook to chase after Yami. However, as he gets shot off, causing Logan to fall. He prepares to use his special technique again. Even though he knows it will eventually kill him, removing the needle from his arm, he stabs himself. But in that same moment, he gets hit by Dilly and is sent flying towards the others. They were ready to attack again. But Logan relentlessly stabs them, desperately searching for a vulnerability in their armor. However, it seems impenetrable. Logan prepares to unleash another one of his secret techniques. Yet, before he can complete the move, he is suddenly pierced through the chest by a barrage of spikes. From that moment on, everything goes downhill. His opponent resembling a soccer ball being tossed around. Z arrives on the scene. Despite Logan's feeble attempts to fight back, Z forcefully knocks him out and declares that it's time to put an end in. Before the fatal blow, the ninja in the pink suit intervenes, saving him. No one can believe the shocking turn of events. Just as others were about to intervene and prevent her from aiding Logan, she activates an EMP device she had planted earlier, disabling their suits. Swiftly, she seizes Logan and leaps off, throwing bomb at Z to deter him from pursuing them. Meanwhile, on Mike's side, we witness Jason's valiant attempt to carry him to safety after being shot. The severity of his injuries remains uncertain. As for Logan, even if he manages to survive thanks to this mysterious ninja, what lies ahead for him now that his quest for revenge has ended in failure? Later, Logan regains consciousness inside a capsule. Before he can make any movements, the female ninja from earlier advises him to take time to heal. Everything starts to make sense when she removes her mask and reveals herself as Emma. She expresses regret for deceiving him about her identity. She discloses that the chieftain had assigned her a special mission related to Logan's supposed death and resurrection through a secret technique. Her task was to uncover the truth behind this technique, so she simply wanted to observe him closely. She also revealing that she is also the mysterious voice who aided him in infiltrating Oza. She warns him that if he were to confront the lieutenants again, he will surely meet his defeat. Their battle suits are far too powerful for him to face. Emma also stole one of the test armor. While saving Logan, nonetheless, Yamaji remains confident that they can still handle Logan even if he possesses a new suit. Meanwhile, all of his agents are conducting a thorough search of the area. Emma is currently engrossed in her work, typing away on her computer to customize the Gusuku gear. She was also part of the development team for these suits, giving her an in-depth understanding of their capabilities. Back then at HQ, the operatives have finished searching all the zones except one. They realize that the power consumption in that particular zone has been 10 times higher than usual. Meanwhile, Emma told Logan that if he dies again, he won't be coming back. She has first-hand knowledge of this, because she was the one who granted him the ability to be revived. Displaying a mask, she discloses is that she was present during the initial attack on his family. By utilizing her own unique technique, she managed to freeze his cells by striking a specific pathway. Upon learning this, is Logan consumed by anger, wondering why she didn't save his wife and son as well. He would have been content with sacrificing himself. Emma remains silent, opting to activate the neural link, which renders Logan unconscious suddenly. Meanwhile, the little head manages to track her down. Logan's suit synchronization rate is still at 10%, so she must figure out a way to delay him until Logan is prepared. Any desperate attempt to save Logan from the imminent blast. She dashes towards her computer with lightning speed. She caused the truck they're in to tip over. It gives her enough time to slip into her own pink suit. Determined, she steps out of the truck to confront the little head. The little head, filled with anticipation, is thrilled to finally have someone to fight in a similar suit. Meanwhile, Mike knows exactly where to find a high-quality computer. In Oza City, the conflict between Emma and the little head is escalating. Emma seems to be at a disadvantage. Emma tries to reach one. The little head throws bombs, destroying the station. She was completely at the mercy of the little head's intentions. Logan emotions intensify, increasing the synchronization rate with the suit. This causes a blackout, catching the attention. Logan emerges from the truck in his new suit, ready to finally seek revenge. The little head is thrilled by Logan's new appearance and is eager to confront him. However, when he tries to get close to attack, Logan powers through the flames that impales the little head, dragging him through several buildings. Finally unscathed, firmly gripping the little head's entire body, Logan discards the head at the ISA headquarters, leaving Dilly to interpret it as a warning. In another hideout, Logan and Emma discuss their situation. Meanwhile, Z meets with Yum, and Logan has been gazing at Emma for quite some time, prompting her to ask him to stop and inquire if he has any questions. However, Emma makes it clear that she is into black dudes. Logan asked about the relationship between Emma and Mary. When she was still alive, Emma explains that Mary was the savior she needed to guide her to where she is now in her life. Sharing her backstory, as a child, Emma was involved in a terrible accident that left her face disfigured and horrifying to look at. Her parents couldn't bear the sight of her and abandoned her in the hospital. Emma was then taken in by the organization and introduced to one of its leaders. He told her that she was ugly and there was no way to change her. Emma learned the art of disguise and became a master at transforming herself into anyone she desired. Emma attachment can lead to emotions, and emotions could be detrimental for a ninja. That evening, Mary took Emma for a walk and proceeded to explain in detail what her secret art was. This art allows one to make it appear as though someone has died by putting their body into a state of suspended animation. Emma felt honored that Mary trusted her enough to share this secret. But at the same time, secret arts are techniques that are not meant to be shared with anyone. Those were the happiest years of her life. Episode 8. Emma informs Logan about the specific of Yamaji's master plan. According to the plan, Yami intends to offer Osa his ninja army as support to expedite the advancement of their energy systems. Once these systems are successfully implemented worldwide, Yamaji plans to utilize his newfound influence to gain control over countries. Emma and Logan are preparing to flee after Emma successfully executes a program. She temporarily disables all electrical systems in the city. She then switches the truck to gas power and drives through the checkpoint. The guards attempt to launch a drone strike, but with the systems offline, they can only watch as they escape. Big D seemed to have a different focus when Emma is present in the base, and she just managed to secure one of the energy tanks. She was about to regroup with Logan, when suddenly Big D appeared and attacked her. She told him she liked black and big, but with these floating centipedes, unfortunately, Emma is at a disadvantage because she doesn't have her gear. Logan bursts in through the ceiling and blocks the centipedes. Big D recognizes Logan's as a worthy opponent. He proposes deal to them. He knows they are eager to find out where Yami is at the moment. So, if Logan agrees to a fair one-on-one fight and wins, he will reveal that information. Big D takes the initiative and launches his centipedes at Logan. Seizing the opportunity, Big D swiftly kicks Logan into a wall, relentlessly attacking. Logan finds himself in a tough spot. Big D has already sent one of his centipedes after Emma. Despite the challenges, Logan starts to regain his strength and destroying one of the centipedes. Meanwhile, Emma showcases her impressive skills by evading the centipede and using the battery as a grenade. The explosion demolishing both the power generator and the threat. Emma realizes that the explosion has destabilized the building, forcing her to swiftly evade falling debris. Unfortunately, she inadvertently rolls onto a hollow section on the floor, causing her to plummet with no means of survival. Just then, Logan comes to her rescue before his suit loses power due to the damaged generator. Although the power supply of their suits, it gives Big D a chance to win, he doesn't operate that way. Instead, he will let them be until the next opportunity for a fair fight. With that, the two successfully escape from the base unharmed. Emma receives an alert indicating that someone has just started her computer car. Mike and Jason manage to acquire the car through unconventional methods. Jason is attempting to break the encryption that Emma had placed on the car, but it proves to be too challenging for him. Suddenly, the radio unexpectedly turns on, playing a song that triggers a memory of Emma within Mike right after she joined the FBI and her love for the big black man. Emma eventually tracks down her car and corners Mike and Jason. They all settle down to have a conversation. Now Mike is enlightened about the entire saga involving Emma, who is secretly assigned as a spy by the FBI. The following day, they dedicated some time to examining the evidence they had gathered on Oza's plan. They are determined to utilize their technology to gain control of all energy. Mike's curiosity about Emma and Logan's relationship but backfires and gets his swift kick, telling him she only likes him big and black. On the other hand, Joseph is angry that Big D allowed Logan to escape. We catch a glimpse of Z. Meanwhile, our hero Emma explains that something called the honor circuit is the core of the gear. It is extremely delicate and sensitive. He studied gear manual thoroughly, but Logan insists she focused more on her own safety. But she was already assisting him a lot, so he suggests she stick with Mike and start planning how she will stay hidden once everything is done. Emma is fed up with guys trying to act tough. In the meantime, a tracking device is discovered on their truck. Joseph calls abruptly ends and Dilly explains that Big D is unavailable because he requested the day off for his daily fade. Despite this, Joseph insists on contacting him due to the emergency. Big D ignores their calls. Joseph was upset that he didn't pick up. Dilly offered to make it right on behalf of Big D. Joseph decided to step out for Dilly to make it up to him. Z inquired about Joseph's presence in the lab. The researchers explained that he was just checking on Big D's equipment maintenance. Emma and Jason searched for a report in Oza's server, which contained crucial evidence needed to bring down Oza. Upon returning to the car, the nerds successfully breached the firewall. Just then, Big D shows up and urges Logan to quickly gear up, leading to a showdown between the two. Despite Logan managing to slice one of Big D's worms that quickly regenerate, Big D becomes enraged when Joseph's men show up to intervene. Mike found himself in a dangerous situation, but Emma arrived just in time to eliminate some of the enemies, the security. And Oza detected the hacking attempt, but it was too late as Jason had already obtained what he needed. Mike joked that Emma's kicks were more painful than a bullet. While Emma showcases her skills with a handgun, unfortunately Emma finds herself in a dangerous situation when Logan pierces Big D's chest. Surprisingly, Big D finds satisfaction in the elegant battle they just had. Suddenly, Big D begins to emit a radiant glow. He discovers that the Joseph had rigged his suit to explode. The honorable fighter enraged shields on Logan with his centipedes. Mike urgently runs to aid Emma, calling out to her. But Emma, resigned to her fate, deploys her robots to defend Mike. Helpless Mike can only watch as the suit detonates, causing a massive blast. Meanwhile, Joseph and Oza is seething that Big D once again failed his plans. The explosion was meant to take out all 5 of them. Logan hurries to Mike and Emma. Emma, badly injured, manages to speak and worries about Mike's well-being. He assures her she's fine, but she apologizes to Mary for not being able to fulfill her promise. Mike pleads with her to stay strong as they wait for an ambulance, and Emma reveals her true appearance. She's confident that Mike wouldn't be able to recognize her like that, triggering a flashback to the moment when Mike presented her with a bear at the bar. She envisions her younger self in that scene and relishes the moment. As Mike joins in the singing, Emma now sings the same song. But Mike is overwhelmed with emotion as she passes away. The group then lays her body to rest. We see Z's backstory, as some people have kidnapped a bunch of children. A man used to come daily to harass Z. He was very angry at the man, but he could not do anything. One day, Yamama Z reaches there with his ninja and kills. As those people freeze the children, Z sees that the man who he used to harass him, he starts stabbing the dead body. But Yamama catches him and tells him to beg for his life. But Z cuts Yamama's hand. Seeing Z's strong build, Yamama G decides to take Z with him. After this, Z goes to the Ninja Academy. We come to the present where Z is looking at the robotic suit. While Logan and Mike are talking to each other, Jason tells them that the data he had hacked from Oza's website will be destroyed automatically as soon as the information is leaked to the media. That data is encrypted by Emma, so that this information could not fall into wrong hands. After this, Jason tries to decrypt the data when a news showing them as terrorists who attacked the company's power plant. In meantime, Logan, Mike and Jason discuss that now they can't even go to the media. The company has already bought the media. As soon as Mike opens the door of the van, a crow comes straight enters inside the van. The crow has a red and yellow piece in its mouth. On seeing it, Logan understands that it's challenged him to fight. Next, shift to Z backstory. When he was in the Ninja Academy, Yama comes for training, and he beats newbie and Ninja very badly. The Ninja accepts his defeat, but even after that, Z does not leave him be. Then Logan comes suddenly to stop him, telling him that there is no one here that is not worthy. But he believes there is no place for them. Marie comes there and suggests them to fight. But every fight, every draw, every match. Later in the night, as Z trains hard, Mary goes to that they are going to train together. After this, all three train together and also pass the ninja exam to become a ninja. All three have to complete one last mission. This mission is going very smooth, but then a lot of soldiers come there for backup. Seeing this, Logan and Marari think that someone must have leaked their location. But Z has something else going on in his mind. He goes alone and confronts the soldiers all alone. He starts fighting and kills many soldiers. But there are so many soldiers there that Z cannot fight them alone. Z thinks that nothing can be done for the weak and accept his defeat. But Logan and Murray come to help him. Egan and Marie both start killing the remaining soldiers. Seeing this, Z realizes that he is not alone in everything. After this, he starts trusting in his friends. We come to know that all this was done by Yamama. Later that day, the three of them alone, Z becomes emotional after hearing them his story, and that he only trusts two things. One is his crews and his own strength. Confessing that this is completely new to him and put his trust in them. From then on, the three become friends and complete their missions together. When Heiken and Marie both leave the ninja organization, they told Z about it. He is shocked to hear that, feeling backstabbed, he takes out his sword and says he killed them, but Logan and Marai do not say anything and go away from there. That completely breaks his heart and becomes alone again. In the next scene, we come back to the present where Logan reaches their old hideout to fight Z. Jason tells him that he should not have listened to Z on this, but Logan told him he must settle score now. With that, Logan and Z both come face to face in their robotic suits. In the end, Z and Logan are seen fighting. Both are equal opponents. Both are continuously attacking each other, try to clean their past with blood. If you like this video, subscribe and hit the bell icon not to miss future video like this.